I'd help you anyway I can.
Oh my gosh. So I'm so grateful I went to
I know, I know,
how
I know. It's mystical, really. It went from just we were so stuck for a
I know
while,
I was nervous.
and then we got worried that we would not have enough space.
Oh, it's very moody without the light.
We could
I like Moody.
Ooh, that's moody.
have
I like moody.
Oh, Erica had the hotels prepared for anybody she had to ship. She was already on it and thinking that way, but it just worked out, thank God, perfectly.
Okay.
So we have enough people?
Oh,
We're all full?
More than
full.
enough.
We're full
Good.
as of this week.
That's awesome.
So, and people are coming from all different places.
This is exciting.
And there'll be a few people I know.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And David's going to be picking up one of my students' husbands, who she's bringing him along. And
I think. Maybe.
he'll be picking him up at the airport. And so there's going to be parts that are familiar, and that people who do not know any of us. I know there's a one returning which I'm excited about.
I like her. I know who
Do
you
you
mean.
know
She's the little petite,
Kristen?
petite lady who that you got master. Is that the one?
Oh no, no, that's Kate.
Okay.
She's so cute. I know.
All right, folks.
She is the one.
From New York.
We're live.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you please continue talking unless you're. Yeah, but we're looking here.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm in frame.
Yeah. You look fantastic. Should I turn that around so you see? This is what happens when you turn cameras on people, and then you have the monitor off to the side, because then they sit there and talk like this. So they
I'm
never look at
obsessed.
you.
Well, because we want to look. I mean, sort of like we want to look like we're engaging too,
I think we should all look this way the entire time. Not even worry
In
about
profile?
these. Yeah, and don't even acknowledge these.
and you're sweating. You know that.
Well, because I've been running around trying to set this up, because the last couple of times I apologize to you people out in streaming land. The sound is not too good. And last week, for some strange reason, it did a 90-degree thing on me. So you have to watch it like this.
Oh,
So to compensate, if it doesn't, let's just do this. Everybody do this, and and maybe that'll help you out.
But you know, the funny part is you did sound from movies. So what happened?
Has anybody said anything about those movies? That is how I got my start. Well,
This is how we met.
yeah, it is. I doing sound. But you have to remember that the director and producer of the movie was a cheap guy. So that should tell
That's
you
why they hired you.
I was
Oh.
inexpensive sound dude.
So this is a cheap production, basically.
That's a Scott Kirschbaumer production.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to up our game because I'm always late. You are not doing the sound.
You're not always late. What are you doing? You're just
And
talking
then-
about being here.
And
right
Green
now.
Air is
Susan is
Wi-Fi
like
went
the.
Oh, last week.
She is like there. You are it.
With a lot of help.
It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
What are we talking about?
You remember Rock'em
I was
Sock'em
gonna.
Robots?
I love Sock'em Robots.
I don't know any of
Did
them.
Hungary
You
have
know
Rock'em
Rock'em
Sock'em?
You got it for Christian. It's a red guy and a blue guy, and you sit there and the head pops up. Pop it like
I
that.
think. Okay. I think there's one thing that go under and they would just do
You have
the Hungarians.
Oh,
they want-
we had those as well. That you push on them
Yeah,
and they move their limbs.
I don't.
Oh, that's a
What was
good
that
memory. I don't know if they had a name for.
Rock'em Sock'em Monkeys.
These were
Minkies. Chimpanzee minkies.
much more violent.
You know what?
Instead
Yeah,
of
yeah. Pete Bender.
Yeah.
I know. I don't do too many, but
I love Pinky.
he and I.
miss
Do you have a license for the
Oh,
Minky?
right here. Minky.
It was something, the question about the Minky. Minky?
Watch right.
You said Minky. Yes, chimpanzee
What are
Minky.
we talking about?
Chimpanzee Minkies. Well, I was telling Susan that we were just watching the guy, like Spider-Man on his way up the skyscraper in Taipei. So it's kind of like putting yourself out there, dedication. We were going to talk about resolutions. How does one even go about just the mental hurdle of, forget about the physical hurdle, the mental hurdle of climbing a 2,000-foot building with nothing, like just,
Nothing but faith in yourself
yeah,
and your
you're not
environment.
attached to anything.
You have to do something.
You have to be nuts. No,
Yeah,
number one, crazy.
Actually, he uses it instead of farming people. He uses it his naughtiness.
Oh, so you're saying he would just be like he would be a serial killer if he wasn't climbing up the
He's
side of
not.
the
He would be. He does mischief.
Yes. He's a naughty boy, and he's using his naughtiness to some really
That's
cheap-
fascinating, Ava. Tell us more about your theory. I'm
Because
very
that's not
compelled.
normal. So he clearly has.
So
some
wait, so
sort
if you're
of-
not normal, you automatically become a
This is what
problem?
and I'm not a doctor, like, let's forgive my language, but I do think that he has a little chip in, because if you look at his hands, he's even using it like, there's, okay, so Einstein, does he have a chip in his head that he numbers, he sees things, but he uses it for good, he's creative. So some people, when they have some
What
sort
good
of,
is it, other than for him?
I'm not
I'm just asking,
I
behavior
just think
He's producing an outcome.
for himself.
what I'm saying is this guy, there's obsession. There's clearly
Definitely.
OCD. There's this
Definitely
obsession. He could be obsessed with the game that you play with your phone all the time, and he could be wasting his time. Except he's deciding that I'm just gonna climb, whatever. And then some people are saying
Truly
that
whatever, like,
he has.
I'm gonna climb up the side of that wall.
Okay, I'm not. You just, I had it all worked out in my head the way I wanted to say it. I truly believe that he's not normal, but he's using whatever mischief he has to actually good. If I could use the word good.
Would you put him in the same category as a mountain climber?
Oh, he's way beyond.
General, a
He is-
general
he is-
category.
He is beyond the mountain climber.
Of course he is.
He's a mountain climber to find infinite degree. He makes mountain
What do you think
climbers
about
look like
mountain
swimmers or
Well,
swimming around in the
No, I have to disagree. It's a different type of thing. This guy more looks like numbers, squares. He has a different way of looking at mountain climbers. There's that environment, the weather, the cold, unpredictable. I mean, going
Against
up
the
against
elements.
carrying food up just to make sure I have enough food when the blizzard that you can't see up in the woods.
So
Wait,
this
and so-
man is
so-
attracted to the spectacle that he creates as
I
much
believe
No,
as
because he started this whole thing.
He's not a mountain climber in a sense of
He climbed El Capitan, which is a mountain. He now does these, especially.
I'm sorry, I'm just you're sweating. You're sweating. I'm sorry, baby.
So yeah, he's a mountain climber. He's a rock climber. So a rock
They're
climber.
different.
Yeah, they're more nuts and more crazy.
They're not
Can he
different.
go Can he go climb a mountain? Certainly. I think it would be. Yes, they do. He is a solo act. Rock climbers are solo guys. Mountain climbers, like Everest and stuff, they are group people. They are not solo because you will die if you try to do that on your own. Rock climbers like this guy are off on their own. They are loners. They are lone wolf people. They are in their own head. They actually do better when you're not in a group. He said that to begin with. He said, if you want a hobby and you don't like hanging out with people and you don't make friends easy and anything else, rock climbing is for you. He said that at the very beginning of the show.
I don't remember that.
And that is, they're a little off. They're a lot off. And as you said, he looks a little strange, but part of that is just the physical necessity that you're like holding your 200-pound body by the muscles that are in like this joint of this finger of these.
digit.
Yeah,
Not
it's like
even
digit
a hand.
strength. It's not
So
even.
his discipline check is really what he has been. So what makes us like follow that kind of
dedication,
discipline. And
because he's missing another chip over here that the rest of them have.
okay, so the rest of us were like, okay,
That
we're
is
going
how
to
the
Florida
brain
right
works.
now.
It's very
It's too
bilateral.
cold. We're too cold. You need to go to Florida. He's like, no, I'm just gonna hang by my fingers. So what is that?
This is
Because I'm
the
preparing.
glass half empty. I'm just,
But do you
because
see what
it's a
I'm
little cold
doing?
today. I'm gonna hang by my fingers.
Just,
Corner.
but this is it. Where I want these little pieces of chip because
I do too.
I want to be more disciplined, and I'm marveling. I
I
don't know
think
if
But
you're
what do you give up?
well, is a lot of people criticize me for you're a child, you're risking everything.
Yeah.
And I do think, and I forgive me, and people want, I just think he's seems like a very smart guy. He had this kind of like,
Yeah, you pick your way up. You know where you're gonna go. It's not just like throwing caution to the wind. It's a very part of the discipline comes into I know what I have a plan in my head how I'm going to do this, and then you execute that plan.
okay, so now you get it connected up. And my discipline is coming in early for work, doing things. Did I miss out on like getting
But you complain about doing that.
This is not apples and oranges.
Right.
So what does it make somebody, maybe he has the same thing, like, I must do this? You can
I
let
don't know if it's that. I think it's more of a what am I going to do if I don't do this? It's the void that has to be filled if that goes away. Athletes have that, certainly.
which is gets me the next thing that I just think with this whole phones, games, I think kids should have a different outlet. Like I was just talking to friends, like, oh my friends are playing sport, there's cricket, there's fighting, there's this, there's that. And I was just thinking, I miss that with Christian. And for some reason,
We let him quit. We let him stop when he wanted to stop.
but
Everybody's going to want to
quit.
stop.
This guy not quitting
But
with
at
his
some
rock climbing.
no, at some point he probably wanted to quit, and either he had the ability to make himself not quit, or somebody sat there and for whatever reason he didn't.
Which is, again, I'm going back to the brain. I feel like there is so much more power that we believe in.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to quit every day of swimming, and I swam for 23 years every day, and I hated swimming. I loved winning. I liked winning more than I liked quitting.
But I was going to go there. There has to be a value return. And I imagine it was around, this has to be empowering for that individual. And a lot of times people quit something like sports or piano lessons, for
They're
example,
not getting the
because
validation.
it's disempowering. It isn't validating. It has the opposite impact. And so there had to have been something in his world that promised power and that led to a powerful
kind of
experience,
gratification.
which is a form of power.
Yeah. The athletes that I have almost more respect for are the guys that never win. Like the pluggers on the golf tour that are in like the 100th ranked. Who knows where they make like $5,000 on a tournament or even less.
Why you have no respect for him?
Because they keep showing up.
So
And
they're the one who's winning.
I know, but they're not winning. Nobody knows their name.
But that doesn't make
How tough is it? How
maybe
tough is
their
that?
winning is that they are there. They love what they
That's true
do.
because the guys that are out there at the country clubs aren't on tour, so at least they have a tour card and they're out there doing that. So certainly that. But what about the guys even in high school that never win, but they still keep showing up for practice and
So
they
you're
still keep
looking
going?
at these things as win or not.
But what's the gratification from a young person who keeps going?
I'm going to give you to
Okay.
the enjoyment. As he said, I'm up here and looking at the view. Remember?
Yes, and that isn't. What's the enjoyment? It's not of swimming And it's the same black line over and
The
over
water, the
and over.
movement,
What
the
movement?
cool.
It's
You just
E-
didn't
e-
like swimming.
even when you're running, you have a change of scenery.
You didn't like
You're
swimming.
just looking at the same
I'm sorry,
black
but
line.
You're right.
The water is cold. It's not nice. It's cold. It's 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes. It's not pleasant. You're straining. If you're not a good swimmer, it's work.
I think sometimes.
And you know you're not gonna you're not even gonna get in the
No.
top five.
I
Who knows?
rearrange people's houses. I rearrange my house. I didn't just follow the
And you can look at it and say, "Wow, that looks great," and people come in and say, "That looks great."
That's my reward. But I
That's
feel
what I'm saying. It's a
I didn't get a
reward.
reward from the academy.
But you love it when people say that looks awesome.
So when you swim, your body feels good.
No, it doesn't. It's tired and worn out and cold and
That's
wrinkly
not
like a raisin, and you don't even have the pleasure of saying I won. Ugh.
See, I think you have a little bit of a winning mischief in your chip.
Yeah, I like winning.
I think
Do you
that's
enjoy competition?
I
he's a competitive.
hate practice. I love meets or even
Performance.
performance.
Or
Yeah,
when
sure.
there's something that's concrete on the line.
But like tennis, I hate going and just knocking the ball back.
You want
No.
a game.
I'll show up. I may not have to play tennis for 2 years. I'll play again and jump right in. You need to warm up? Nope, let's
You
go.
don't want to play with his family and important because they just
Very
they crash.
competitive.
There's no practice. What's this practice business? Let's just go.
Like there's no
Let's have a
I get
point.
it.
there's
Put it
no
on the
other way
line.
to play a board game.
I
with
would
him.
be-
He has to win.
I would be a bad gambler. I never, in terms of an addiction type gambler. I was just telling Christian this.
You
Genetically, we
love it.
have a very addictive personality. We are very.
Mhm.
That's how we're set up. So somewhere along the line, I never did any drugs. I didn't drink. So I did not get into these things that otherwise would be a problem. Gambling's fun. I'll play poker with you guys and stuff like that. But I'm not going to the casino and going nuts. I think the worst thing ever is the fact that every other ad during a football game is for betting on a football game. I think that's absolutely
I
terrible.
know, I see that.
It's just setting everybody up for a massive. The fact that the
No,
majors,
not everybody.
the
The
fact
people
that
who
the
have a
major-
problem.
I-
No,
but-
you're wrong right
no,
now.
then
You-
why is everybody on their phone? So everybody has a problem with their phone?
That's not everybody.
It's the
Just
same
because
kind
they
of
play
thing.
a video, they
If
don't have a
you're-
problem. They can
if
put it
you-
down.
If
You can't put it down.
If you're
There's
making
people
it,
who say,
I know,
that's enough.
but if you are making it almost like it's not even real, like, you know what, come in and bet $10 and if you lose, I'm going to put $150 in your account because you didn't really lose. They're rewarding people if you lose on your first bet to hook you in there and try to get you to continue.
I could walk into the casino right now, I have $100 and I lost it, I could walk out
That's
just
you.
fine.
I'm the same way.
That's
but-
you.
but-
You're weird. You're
but-
both not normal.
But I realize that. I do realize that. I'm exactly
Yeah.
like
I
you.
played the game and I enjoyed
I did
myself
it.
and I walked out.
You give yourself a limit,
It's entertainment.
and you do not feel bad.
Right.
You just
It just is
enjoyed
what it
it,
is.
and this was it. But we are far. I think we're far
Yeah. You guys are
and
not
fewer
the normal.
between. But I have to side with Scott on this one piece, which I see where you're going with the addiction. Because of the euphoric chemicals that are produced whenever you are taking risk,
Mhm.
and of course climbing up, scaling a skyscraper, particularly any day of the week with any amount of equipment,
Yeah.
is risky. But that is a huge adrenaline dump. And the studies are very, very, they're significant, and they show that because we as a species are in front of screens at an earlier and earlier age, we've actually changed the way our brains are configured. So in a really basic way, there is an addiction that people are experiencing on the screens because there's a level of gratification and satisfaction it, from this small
Even with Candy
world,
Crush, you get to a next level. Oh,
and it
cool.
feeds you, and that
I want to get to the next
you
one.
have that rush of all those good chemicals, and you are going back to get that hit, so you can feel like you did the first time.
So what about the people who don't eat that? What do they get?
Who what?
The who don't eat.
Well, I think it's
They
fascinating.
get it from somewhere.
I can never say that you and I have the same background, but we have things in common, including the Central Eastern European roots too. That culture carries over, and but that said, we had a more countryside.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously had a lot more time to cultivate, oddly enough, creativity in the midst of a sort of relationship with our environment. It was very driven by conditions,
Yeah.
seasons, what had to be done,
Yeah.
all of those things. But you structured yourself in tune with whatever that world was. And I don't think you had, although you have standards, you also have the ability to uh, carve out a place for your individuality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as being as easy in a modern middle class in the United States.
Right.
It's far more standardized and clear-cut expectations.
Particularly now.
Particularly,
and it's also more automated.
And more automated, and so I think it's interesting because I do think our brains develop differently.
I mean, it's a cliche to say when we were young, me and us, I grew up a mile up the street, very suburban, typical upbringing, but we were out playing in the dirt
Outside all the time.
all the time.
And self-governing.
They literally
didn't have adult proctors.
They dropped us off at the pool in mass, a bunch of 8-year-olds, and left us there for 10 hours for the entire day. The parents weren't there. No. Yeah, exactly. But
you're on your own Lord of the Flies.
It was Lord of the Flies with servants.
I was just
May
gonna
I
say,
have a hamburger, please?
I feel like
As we're
like,
drowning
no,
each
no,
other in the
But
deep
I
end.
see what you guys say. I do think so. But then let's go
I
back.
think it's creating a hit of something that people need, and I think we can't really diminish the importance of the rush that people get from things, and then they seek greater and greater, more extreme challenges, or more screen time, or more alcohol, or more
And that's for
whatever.
younger kids too. I will tell you that the most valuable swimmer on our swim teams in the 1970s and 80s, a lot of the times were 11 or 12-year-olds. They did not give the most valuable swimmer award to the old person. They gave it to one of the younger swimmers who was still really good for that age group. If they wouldn't have won so much for them, like the best 11 or 12-year-old, because that's where the cutoff was until you moved up to the next age group. So it's all about getting points for the team, to win championships or regionals or whatever the team match was. If a really good 11 or 12-year-old is winning all of this stuff, he's considerably getting more points than the 17 or 18-year-old, the 17-year-old who's doing the same thing. So if you think about that from a coach, it was brilliant because they're like, hey, the 11-year-old or 12-year-old is the most valuable. That's going to make that 11 or 12-year-old say, I'm going to keep swimming next year instead of going to play baseball or whatever.
You're just setting up for addiction now because you just said that that's what they addicted because they're doing it. My question is,
as the 12-year-old who got the
things
most valuable swimmer award, I kept swimming.
This is where it was going.
You knew it, right? But I wasn't the only one. And looking at it now,
Reward.
It's
It was
certainly
a positive reward.
It is because most people go, why are you giving that to the young kids? It's the old kids who they're showing up.
I think rewards are actually doing it. You've got to do it. Just imagine.
No, I want something. I want a trophy.
Just imagine that you
Ribbon.
got to go into a
A
pool
horse.
and you get to swim. Your parents had you in a country where you were able to. How about other kids who didn't have to know the potential that they could swim?
They had bad parents.
So just enjoying that
I
as a
feel sorry for
reward.
them. Just remember that when you see your parents next, folks. Just tell them, say, you were a bad parent.
I just see there's
You know what? They're public pools. Dormont has a giant pool out there.
I think how much reward
Think of the people in the northern states, and they don't even have the pool to go to in the winter.
an addiction to cutting off people
I do.
when they're
Talking, I'm hearing myself speak. I do.
Yes.
But you knew that.
So I just would like to find out how is that is there's some people like you guys say they need to go to casino versus people. What is up in there? Because it's sort of I always believe in nourishment. Like you know vitamin D is responsible for like falling through like that. Is it gonna be the chemical that
It's your chemistry.
And it's self-control too. You gotta have, where's the self-control
instead
on
of the industries are coming up with the benefit, why don't they coming up with something for us so we could be normal?
for mind control?
Okay, I see what you're putting it. I'm not mind control, but like it just be like recognizable.
We should all be Vulcans.
No, but you know.
But you know what happens
I
to
think we should
Vulcans?
be able
The
to get.
Pan-Far comes along, and the Vulcans go off the reservation. You can't control them at all. It's bad.
We should be able to give a pleasure of
That was
just
for her.
talking.
We're going. We're going there.
I knew what
I
reaction
enjoyed
that would get from
I
her.
just want to talk versus we talking
I'm just gonna
for
sit here and watch the two of you.
likes or Instagram. I should be able to just tell somebody what good skincare they have versus I'm doing it on Instagram for likes. Does it make sense what
No,
I'm saying?
you, Ava, you're not
It's not
normal.
about me. I'm just
I-
saying
but-
like as people.
No, and you, let's see, there are people, and then there's you.
God, that's not right. You know what I'm saying?
I
do.
know,
I
yes,
do.
you are unusual.
You should no. This is not about me. I'm saying this is it's sad that we're doing things for this little clickbait that you know like we need to feel.
We're being influenced constantly, and we're being manipulated by an increasingly sophisticated digital design. That is absolutely true. And we don't know the upper limits of that, or if there are limits.
And we don't
to
have any
that.
control of it. Not only do we not have control, we're ceding on a daily basis more and more control of it to faceless, eventually it
An
will-
invisible empire,
that control will be ceded not even to other humans, it will be ceded to
artificial intelligence.
Cyberdyne systems.
So I think right now we're really in that tension point where we're having these conversations because we're realizing we are very awake to the potential for danger for us. And I don't think human beings I think we have a love-hate relationship with being controlled and wanting to control.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that
That now is the
that
big
enjoy
shift.
what they enjoy. There is some kind of peace and comfort that comes with just lapping it up and being directed and told what to do. You don't have to.
Of course there
You don't
is.
have to worry about it. You're taken care of. It's the Matrix. You just plug the thing into the back of my head,
It's so true.
and I know that this steak
there's
is
a
not a
comfort.
steak, but it tastes good, and I want to believe it.
And if
And
something
that's what
goes
we're gonna
wrong,
do.
it's not my fault.
That's the big.
I
that's the
follow
big
the
kicker.
rule. I follow the leader. And then you have what we call outliers, pariahs, radicals,
Scots.
anarchists, Scots.
Like the snow.
This Scot.
Not
those of
Scots, and
Scottish
Scots.
descent.
Well, I have that too.
I do too. I'm representing a few facets here.
But remember the snow right now. I can't go to work because nobody shoveled my yard. Well, how about you shoveling your own yard?
No, you can't do that.
Well, why? And then there's one person, I don't know, a shovel. I'm like, what?
A lot of people probably don't have a shovel.
Well, then come up with something. But how?
But I look at it in again, the contemporary stuff with the snow. When we were younger, they never canceled school because it was cold.
Yeah.
They might have a 2-hour delay, but nobody's cancel.
Did you guys-
It's a sunny day and it's
Yes.
cold. No, you put an extra jacket on and a scarf and you go to school. You don't cancel
We
school.
didn't have many snow days, even in the country, where we didn't have,
Yeah,
the
cold
roads
days.
were really,
Did you guys wait for
They
the
were
school
challenging.
buses? That's what it is. The
Yes.
people don't know. Okay, so you did stand
So the-
outside. for the
so
school
if it
bus.
was really,
Yeah.
really,
Did you?
No,
It was
I was
really,
driven to
really
school every
Oh,
day
that's what I thought.
until I was.
yeah, if it was really, really cold, then you were either getting a ride or
Yeah, but you put another coat on and
you
go.
got on the snowmobile.
Oh, you're really out there.
I remember walking and we were driven with not school buses,
Prison buses.
but so
She was. No, you laughed, but
it's
That's
true.
how she got to
So
school.
where I lived, it was
Oh my
actually-
gosh.
yeah. So it was actually
tell the story.
a prison town, and
And
people
who was in charge of the
occupied-
prison
My
town?
dad was. So what's cool part about this little town? So the locals who live there, like my mom was running the kitchen, just it looks like a town, but the main part of the political prison in there, in Jefferson, basically, good story recorded. But the way they drove us into school, it was this metal
Box.
box car that was prisoners sitting in it. And as kids, you can see the big crocodile carved into the what was sitting in there. Now, after a couple of years, basically, enough fans said, like, this is pretty well traumatizing. Can we get like a bus with windows?
Think it was
So they-
traumatizing?
Ended
I
up
say nothing.
getting a bus. I think by that time it must have been like 11.
Yeah, your formative years had already been traumatized
You had
by the
already
box.
been impacted.
You'd already been
Wow.
trained to think you were a
Ava, you
prisoner.
should just have your own show,
Right?
and we should
No,
just
seriously.
we should be a part of the production
Oh.
because your stories are
It was
amazing.
Right?
this boss.
They are not normal
So your
stories.
dad was essentially the mayor of the Hungarian
No,
Kingstown.
he was
No,
the
what
war-
I'm
he
saying
was-
is the,
it's
So
the,
what-
the
Yes.
series.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is what I'm seeing.
a,
what he
a
was-
communist mayor of Kingston.
Yes.
What he was running, it was these prisoners were working labor, so they were basically
Right.
labor.
The chain gang.
Yes. So it was cutting corns and these people were running these machineries, and he was responsible for that part of the prisoners. And they were, it's not high security prisoners, but a couple times they escaped.
Yes.
And I remember him, having a gun, and they were like, we can't go outside because all of them are running around right now.
Just
But-
going to go shoot them.
No.
Well, do
not-
you? I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It was just, it was this little kind of, they were in labor, could I say?
Well,
No,
you know,
slave labor.
this was not unknown even in our era, in
You guys
this
had something
part
like
of the
this.
world,
We
because
have
our
Angola
our-
and southern prisons like that.
RIDC Park,
Mhm.
which we could throw a rock essentially in here,
Yeah.
was originally the campus of a working prison,
Wow.
and they literally had chain gangs
How long ago was this?
within our lifetime.
No,
With our youth, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
no. His
Absolutely.
dad always had his office was at RIDC at 1000 RIDC, and there was no.
No,
We were
there-
up there in the 70s. There was nothing. There was no prisons up there.
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna
Well,
look
you
at,
can
I
look
love
up the
it.
history.
I love that.
I can bring someone
Okay,
in,
so
you
not
can
that
interview.
unusual.
So they would have to, everybody would have to go inside because people would escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had orchards and everything up there, which there's still remnants of the orchards around
I believe
RIDC.
that. There's a lot of
Because
land.
that was all cultivated, maintained, and harvested by the prisoners
Mm.
in that era because they would give them jobs.
His dad
I mean,
always
there's
said,
an argument for having that because it's a better outlet than just sitting
Yes.
and rotting
Cell.
away in a cell.
But
We're
they-
really going places today in this
I know, but they
this
had like
bohemian,
soccer
beautiful
teams.
environment.
They had soccer teams, and my dad was the one who was really fought for them to get T-shirts. So they get like little, then you could be Milan or all those fancy soccer players.
So a little benefit, a little emotional
He was
support.
really proud
Little
that they
mental-
should play games, and they created them to a soccer player team, and they played. And I remember,
Except for friends, maybe.
Longest yard.
Longest yard.
You could give them Risk, because Risk takes a long time to play, so that will keep them occupied.
Okay, be cheaper.
Cheaper. You could have like,
Less of an
if you had like a prison farm, you could like, instead of like the corn maze and stuff, you could do like Risk in the field. And depending on how big the prison is, you could use like people as the little things and have like a real life, massive scale Risk.
Is this really
Like
getting
I'm
dark?
gonna put 40 guys in Irkutsk, but they're actually 40 guys over in this part of the field that has the same kind of
Board games.
outline. Yes.
It's going nowhere with this. We're doing a
Going
retreat.
nowhere. I think that's fantastic.
We're doing a retreat soon. Let's talk about the retreat after
We're
this.
going up on top of the mountain. We're gonna separate everybody, and we're gonna Risk, real life Risk up on
Yeah,
top of the
this
mountain.
this retreat is turning into like the hunted.
Yeah.
Is Eric perfectly setting up everything now?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for us.
We're all excited, I think. Yeah, it's a great.
It's coming up
group.
soon.
Many people from many different places. It's completely filled, as you were
It's awesome.
saying before we started
Where's the
rolling.
person who is the furthest coming from? Do you know?
Well, I think the people from out here are in Pittsburgh would be the farthest. We've got a couple from the Midwest.
Well, because we have people from Montana and
Mhm.
other places
Yeah.
at the last one.
This is very
Yeah.
exciting.
They're coming from all over.
I think people who are watching and people who are used to us talking about it, I think this is a nice tradition that you guys are doing, and that it's just creating.
It is. Now we have a waiting list
Which is incredible.
We're next.
I love that
for the next one.
Yeah.
because you guys.
So, what, in terms of gratification, so we had a lot of room available for a long time.
Yeah.
So why is it the fear of missing out? Is it just,
I think it's human nature.
is it the 16 feet of snow and everybody's like, I need to go to the desert?
A combination of winter and the fact that time was running out.
I also think that people are kind of handling day to day. I don't know if I plan things out this far, it's not a plus. But maybe people are saying that there's a very.
I think people are far more like that now than ever.
Well, a lot more last one.
I have a friend. She's unbelievable woman, Angela Menda, and she just like plans it like
I don't use real names or anything.
I know.
But she watches. Hi, Angela. We're talking about
She's
you.
amazing.
How are those West
She's
Virginia counts? She
amazing.
gave me such a hard time about West Virginia counts. We were talking about West
Plans
Virginia
out
counts.
everything.
Mhm.
I remember talking to her one time,
No.
and I said to her, "How do you do this with all these kids and sports?" And she did her PhD by herself. I mean, how? She said, "I make notes and then I just check, and pass."
Have a list. Yeah, people with a list. That's,
And she plans everything so far out, and that's a set thing.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with prioritizing what your desires are and what you want for yourself in terms of an experience and how you feel. And realizing you can make a lot of that happen for yourself. You can manufacture a lot of joy and satisfaction for yourself if you desire to. And she asserts herself and her will in such a way that she creates a strategy and a path to get to what she wants
She's
to
in control.
experience.
well, yeah, they're little goals, and they're
And those
everybody
incremental. But we don't
says
always give ourselves that gift.
make the little achievable goals, because as you go throughout your day and check those things off, it's little rewards. It's like, oh, good, okay, and makes you push on to the
That's
next
a
one.
dopamine hit too. It's like one time,
Got that done.
decades ago, I was in a presentation done by somebody who was talking about planning and time management, right? And they brought up the fact, it asked in the room, how many people actually accomplish something during their day. Then they go back and write it down in their calendar or list so they can check it off. And I thought, you know what, that's right.
That's interesting.
I can see people doing that. So they had
Instead
that.
of as you go.
Yeah, the level of
Reverse engineer.
satisfaction is, okay, yeah, I did this, check. Because
Hmm.
you almost need to sometimes celebrate that, the fact that you accomplished something. You by your sheer will. But a lot of us, and I would say that um, I think it's more of a challenge for a lot of women. I know I'm generalizing, but I do think it's more of a challenge for a lot of women because I think we're
To
shaped
do what?
in such a way that we show up, we read the room, and we prioritize the needs of others in the collective, and we don't always recognize or are able to recognize what we want.
Yeah, I do that particularly with how I live, and I think the loudest mouth that always fed.
Right.
It's a cliche, but it's true.
That
The,
is
the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Quiet for a while, and I just shut it up.
You defer and give over because you're looking at this bigger picture. You place yourself in a sense at a
Secondary.
position of servitude toward that, keeping everybody full and complacent and and safe and secure, whatever that is.
I think everybody does
I
that
think
to
men,
to a
and
certain.
again, I'm generalizing, I
No.
think men are much better at saying, I want this, this, and this. And then
I
go
think it's different.
for it.
I think it's not so much that, it's the, we have an ability to put up with a lot more squeaking,
Mhm.
which is different than,
If I asked you, this is interesting, because I've worked with you here, here's an experiment. If I were asked you
Orange.
to write, I love it, to write down what you want, you, Scott, want, well, three things. And Ava, I would ask you, Ava, what do you want for yourself? For yourself.
Okay. Today or tomorrow or when?
I would say one thing for today, one thing for 3 years from now, and one thing for, 10 or
You don't think it
15
would be the same?
down the road. Not that they would, we're not even looking for them to be the same, but to ask you what you really, really want for yourself.
That would be really
Not
hard.
defined by
Why is
anybody
that hard?
else.
Because I immediately think of, I want my son to
Yes.
be healthy, I
Okay.
want my
And
son to be
that's the
good, I
point.
wanted the spa to be working.
That's
I want to come into plumbing. I want
That's
everybody to be happy.
that's the thing.
I'm good with those too. I want you to be happy and not worry about stuff.
But I'm happy when everything else is happy.
But it's very hard for you to, I'm just saying, it's very hard for you to say, I want this particular thing for myself.
I want beach houses on every continent, and I prefer to have a mountain house in the Alps.
There you go.
That would be good.
And I would prefer to be invited.
Certainly, everybody can watch.
So she
But
proved the point.
do you see, it's, and again,
Yeah, the European
some
I'm
of this
going to need
is,
multiple
some of
houses
this,
in Europe. I need
that's
the beach
fine.
house and the Alps house.
I knew you were going to be hungry then. That's all.
She just admitted yesterday, I came home from work and he said, where are we going? I just came home from work. I said, I'm a triple housewife. I make reservations.
I'm not cleaning dishes. Let's go eat.
And our dishwasher is broken.
I do not go eat out because I necessarily like eating out. I find a couple of things about eating out. I drink a lot more water when I eat out, for the simple fact that people keep bringing me
It's
water.
there. Mm-hmm.
So I drink it and it gets filled up. And it's,
So you need to be served.
I like the serve thing. Serve is good. And then
Right.
with food, you're presented with lots of options, and it comes out and it's tasty, and then they take it away and you don't have to clean up after.
So you just telling me that I'm not serving you good enough.
No,
You just
no,
walked into
because I'm
that one.
taking you with me. I'll take everybody with me. Happy to do it.
What time of day?
Multiple times a day. It's all good.
I don't.
All of these houses need to have a chef. Why? Because there needs to be
That goes
grazing
without
stations in all of them.
Which is where our retreat we're
At
gonna
all.
have an
Oh, you know what? We just-
unbelievable chef,
We're
right?
going to have Chef Amber
Yeah. Very nice.
from Hell's Kitchen. There's a couple
Wait,
who
what?
are attending the retreat because she's there
Oh,
and
that's
follow
cool.
her.
Was she red team or blue team?
From Hell's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
know,
so cool.
famous, and she's lovely. We had a meeting with her, just incredible to work with.
That is.
So you gotta ask her all about court.
The food's going to be healthy, it's going to be first class, and it's going to be
We are
delicious.
so lucky. Like I'm
Thank
just,
you.
I love that I just get to go. You know, I don't want to win a prize. This one probably wants to be.
You've already won the prize.
I'm not trying to win any prizes. I get to hang out with you and play pickleball. I will be having daily pickleball contests. I thought about this whole, I thought about the pickleball contest on how to make this work, and I'm thinking that if we get everybody to just, even just for the sake of argument, it's $1 per entry.
There we go.
$1 per person. Pony up at the pickleball. Well, and then we'll just have a round robin for the entire time. So whoever is left at the end gets a stack of hundreds and goes to the strip club afterwards.
Where is Echo even her?
She would love that idea.
No, she
She
wouldn't.
would. And Jeff will probably win because he's the racket guy.
Why, he's unbelievable. Thanks.
That's my point.
I see it.
So none of us could be late this weekend for the
Scott
enjoyment.
doesn't want to hear that.
I'll play tennis with him. I'll
Oh,
play tennis
and
with
who's
him
gonna
before.
win?
Well, tennis is a different story. Pickleball, maybe.
Because it's a challenge. He's
Pickleball-
watching
pickleball
for you,
different.
challenging him.
Jeff, I'll play tennis or I'll play, except squash. I'm not a squash guy, and you were a squash guy, so I'm not doing that. But I'll play tennis and
I think he's
Pickleball.
you in everything.
paddle tennis. I'll play those. I'll play
Well,
all
what
that.
a pleasure that you get to play him. He's such a good player. that
You're
you are
going to
going
have
back
to leave the hot tub though to do that.
That's what I'm going to have to invent.
That's what I
Hot tub
figured.
pickleball.
Like water polo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pickleball polo.
Pickle polo. Pickle polo. The horses would love it too.
This has been by far the biggest fever dream
Yes.
of a podcast so far. So but I love it though.
It's the height, the elevation. We're up high.
I are. I like that though.
Well, this was fun. I don't know what our time.
I don't know.
She has clients. I have
I'm
clients.
going to go, you talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go over here and see what we are doing on the time wise.
Okay.
We got about 10 minutes left. If you have 10 minutes.
Okay.
So it's very freeform here
So,
at Shea Ava. Sheva, as we call it.
what is this name?
House of Ava.
House of
Oh,
Ava. There's a lot of
I like
French
Sheva.
and German
Sheva's
in our
awesome.
English language.
Sheva's awesome. That's an awesome Sheva.
So, I'm super psyched. I just came away from this whole shoot. I'm getting like very, very.
And it's coming. 2 weeks.
It's
2 weeks.
very exciting.
Yeah, we couldn't have picked a better time to leave this Arctic blast.
Yes. And the weather is amazing there and just everything. So I'm really looking forward to end the show.
We're very lucky.
Chef will be fine. That will be. I got to get on top of that now.
You will.
Is that your
Ooh, we could climb up the mountain. I mean, there is a trail. We can walk up the mountain. It's only 9,000
I was
feet.
going to say that's a big time commitment.
okay? Well, we could be.
How fast would Spider Monkey do to get up there?
I
Then climb the skyscraper.
I'm sure there are paths. Yeah. I know that from people who have hiked it to a certain point, some of that terrain's very hostile.
Yeah. It's not easy. I mean, if you just look at the tram goes up, I mean, it goes basically up the vertical side of the cliff at the end there. It's just like
Yeah.
up.
But when we talk about it, he's adrenaline, but that he was able to be so in control. His smile, his breathing.
He's waving at people on the 90th floor as he's just scaling the outside of the building, not attached to anything, with the wind blowing his shirt off.
But he was able to stay also focused on understanding that I'm living, I'm breathing okay, there's the wind, and then my hand is spinning. I'm gonna make sure, that powder or everything what he was doing to make it not sticky.
No, every movement was obviously
He
very
is
determined.
incredible.
It
I
was
just
very-
find those people naughty, but also incredibly amazing.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. I think it's a better word.
They're like snipers.
And I'm grateful for the people because it shows you a facet of this complex thing that we have. Because it really is the mind. This
Is
physicality is
doctors like that
important.
when they're doing surgery?
Everybody's
think
in the
that-
zone. It's called,
I think
it's like
the
being
zone.
in
I
the
think
zone,
anyone
whatever
has to
zone that
be-
may be.
Blocking off not just what's around them, but their self-doubt, those voices that enter in that could interfere with performance, especially when that performance is like for that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, because he people were like crazy having a baby pictures and I was thinking, don't distract them. How is that in where you, like you said, you're just sort of blocking it out? But I guess I don't know if doctors are like that. People,
You have to go into battle.
The doctors are
You
listening to
have
loud
to-
music and
Performance athletes.
being an actor on stage.
Yes.
People heckling or whatever, and you have to remember your lines and keep on going through it. Because you got everybody else
is this
depending
a
on you.
focus or a discipline? Is focus?
Well, that's a very deep
Both.
question.
Focus is discipline.
Uh,
No, why not?
well, because focusing, you could be focusing on many things. But discipline would be just you keep doing one thing over and over again, or just like I have to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But focusing is like you could just, I guess maybe it's much more closer to everything. But I don't know why I feel like they are separate.
That's interesting.
Because you're, in terms of you're hardwired of how you were brought up, discipline is a very distinct thing in terms of discipline. Discipline being somebody other than you disciplining you. That it's
No.
a different kind of
No,
discipline.
no. Remember we talked about a couple of times back, I discipline about thank you cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like Christmas cards are discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you cards are discipline. You actually sit down and taking time. You decide to do it. But there is one point that you have to discipline to me is much more about physical. Discipline is that the athletes, the hard working, getting up early. So when I associate that word, I associate it with work. Focus to me is somebody who's brilliant, somebody smart, something to do with brain. That's what I associate focus with. Versus, that doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying.
No, everybody has, the definitions of words come from how you were brought up within the context. And that context changes.
But I'm fascinated with people who are focused to me. They always seem to be brilliant, smart, successful. Disciplined people to me are always the workers.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. I think Elon Musk is very disciplined in terms of some of the things that he has to be. Warren Buffett is beyond
He's
discipline.
disciplined that he's in a state dinner and he starts like doing like this kind of movements. Disciplined is the person who knows he's in a dinner with the president and just sit.
That's why I said it is discipline, and your definition of it is something that is put upon you by somebody else, or the space, or wherever you are. It's not in you. Whereas the discipline, in terms of discipline being equated to focus, it's all of it.
I'm not sure.
There are two types of discipline.
He got focused on something and was flying around in the White House. And
Yeah,
he was,
and you know what? He probably went home, designed something, and there's some satellites going up next week that he came up because of that.
but then his focus on the fly
Okay.
versus being disciplined because he's sitting next to the president.
His discipline is on how do I make things better?
Maybe this is going to also has to come with your own like standards or like knowledge to your
We can choose what to focus on, and we can elect discipline too. It really is choice.
I do think if you have $400 billion,
Mm.
pretty much make up whatever focus and discipline you want. And the rest of us are all just, yep, okay, sounds good. Got it.
I think there's something to be said, no matter what, of celebrating people who put themselves literally
On the side of the
on
building,
the side of the
no attachment.
building and scale it.
Or the nurse who just said it's snowy out there.
And got to work.
My car is under the snow, but I'm gonna get to work
Yeah.
with these people anyway. So
Yeah.
is she focused or is she disciplined?
She's both.
It would be both, right? I guess it's, again, it's the way we're relating to the terminology. But the,
But if she focused on like it's snow, 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 I'm not gonna make it for work.
She wasn't focused on that. She was focused on getting to work. On not even doing her job, but maybe she wanted to make sure that the kid that is at the hospital that she saw 2 days ago is still doing her job. Or whatever. That's the focus.
That's
No.
discipline.
That's the focus. She's focused on that. I think nurses and doctors, yes, it takes this, but it's the focus that controls the discipline in that regard. Their focus is on helping people and making things happen. They're disciplining themselves, and the discipline is allowing them to see through that focus.
That's their dedication, my friend.
Discipline is the same as dedication in my opinion.
Oh,
That means discipline is one step beyond dedication, but it isn't out for a
it's
lot.
probably not good that I'm arguing with an English major.
Not an English major.
Words
I
that
never got out of college. What are you talking about? I didn't major in anything. I majored in partying. Party major.
I thought
Social.
you were an English
It's
major.
a theater major.
I married you and I was under the impression that you were an English major.
But we had a lot of money too.
you're very well spoken
Fooled her.
Oh my gosh.
and well written.
26
You know why?
years of marriage?
It's all coming out.
It is simply because, and I tell this to anybody, of reading.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to school. You don't need teachers. You don't need anything. If you just surround yourself with a lot of books from every genre, from every era, and just read,
Okay, so that's good because you read
you
a
will
book
be able
all
to.
night. Is it focus you finish the book or is it discipline? That you want. You need to go to bed. That's normal.
But
You don't. You stay up until because you're so.
but part of that is
That's wonderful.
Is-
That's very right.
well,
Finishes the book.
there I find it much easier to retain what I read in the book if I do it all at once. It's much more difficult to chop it up and put it into pieces because then you know it's like watching a movie. You're gonna watch a movie and in spurts and pauses. No, that's why people binge watch entire seasons all at once because you just want to see what happens, and then you remember what happens, then you can talk about it with other people what happens because it's retained much better.
No, personally, I think it was addictive. Okay, let's just read through
Whatever.
a little episode next.
Whatever, but it's a lot easier to remember.
I think many of us struggle with the concept of indulgence, and that's kind of a sub theme here. Like, is that man scaling the outside of that building a great risk to himself?
Who has time to read a book all night? You're
Right.
not going to get up in the
You
morning
may
and do
not
what
get
you're
up and
supposed to do.
perform.
Okay.
So it's just like we as a society, as individuals, I think, and collectivists, we find that to be somehow threatening.
Well, that
If
gets into
one person indulges something that we either don't resonate with or we don't buy into as productive.
breaking the rules.
And that's, yeah, and I think that's a big conversation, interesting to have.
One person
someday
breaks the
in
rules.
future.
Two people may break them, and then
And then
it's
what?
anarchy.
It's anarchy.
And you know, what's the one main thing that
What do you think?
I don't like?
I just think it's more
Really,
addiction. You
Scott?
can't stop. You can't stop not watching a Netflix show.
What's your relationship with indulgence?
With rules, Ada loves rules.
Indulgence or
rule
luxury.
follower.
That is something that you live. So I give you an example. So when I moved here, he would take me out to dinner, and I find it so fascinating because I thought, going out to dinner, but actually, it's something that you do on your birthday, you do it for on holiday. It's an extremely special thing. You could get dressed up, and even now, like if I go, I don't. It's sort of like So
an
what?
event.
It's a luxury. I absolutely, it is certainly a luxury. And
Everybody goes out. Even work is a thing. To me, that's still a restaurant. It's like you're being served. They need that before you, because I come from a place like you would have to go out to get the chicken, cut the neck, cook, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to do that. If somebody has to do it for you, that's
It's such
a
a big
gift.
deal.
it's all very foundational, right?
Even if you think it's a gift. So when you indulge in it, you gotta take it seriously. So you actually could really like take a moment.
And savor it.
You know what, though?
Oh, I give you. I got a banana for Christmas, and I remember
This is just this past Christmas. That's where they pull
it was when I was a
ribbon
kid.
off.
Like there was, and you would peel it and you would peel it back because like let's save it for another. I didn't have it all at once. I could have
Because it was unusual.
Because it's communism, they didn't have these things.
but it was special.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, if you don't have them all the time, of course it's special
Or
when
when we
they
had
show
the
up.
Coca-Cola in a can, like we would collect the cans because I thought,
When's the next time I'm going to have one?
it's in a can. If we would take care of this feeling,
Right.
we would just collect them because like that is cool.
But that is experience from where you're coming from, and everybody's experience is different. That's why, and I will say, that is why Americans, as a general rule of thumb,
No, not everybody's like
I'm saying as a generalization, have a really difficult time understanding the rest of the world because we simply have it so much better at a general level than anywhere else. Ava, the first time you came and just walked into a supermarket, it was like, what? You have rows and rows of cereal.
there's different countries have different.
I understand, but the majority, what? Okay, so pick a country. Just throw a dart in the wall.
Iceland.
Yeah.
How cool to live in.
No pun intended. I know.
Just breathtaking.
Yeah. And then, what was the first thing that the lady said to Christian when he got there? Was we don't need more tourists dying, so stay on the road. So they got their issues too, I would think.
Everybody.
Volcanoes. There are no trees. Show me a tree in Iceland. There are no trees. Where are the trees in Iceland?
I couldn't.
Exactly.
I couldn't.
They're not there because they chopped them all down and made
Incredible
ropes
beauty.
or burned them to heat.
Vikings.
You know, they have a lot of rock.
It's unspoiled
Yeah.
beauty.
And the air, the clean, I just love.
Clean? They shut down the airspace because of the volcanoes, put so much ash in the air that they can't even fly a plane because of all the volcanic ash.
It's time for us to go.
And on that note, we'll see you next week on
This was
whatever we're going to talk about. Send
Thank you
us
both.
Thank you. Thank
send
you.
us a note. Thank you out there.
Thank you so much for taking your time and watching us.
Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Otherwise, we're just going to continue this rambling, and who knows where it will go.
You two are the Thank you.
You are
Thank you.
delight. Bye.
Ciao, people. God. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Over there. How much of that is this?
I love this.
We have